My name is Max Rowe. I'm a straight male, born and raised in Nebraska. Although friends and family may say otherwise, I am nobody special. I am not somebody you have to listen to. I'm not even somebody you should listen to. That's not my prerogative to say one way or the other. But I'm also tired of being silent because I feel like that there's not anything that I can do. Earlier this week, a lone gunman sought to enact his own judgment and took 50 lives at a gay club in Orlando, Florida. My own personal life was not affected by this. Myself, my family, and my friends are all accounted for. I saw the news trickle down my feed just like any other day, really. I read, I grieved, and then I went about my business. Today, one day later, I went to work as though nothing had happened. And I looked around at my coworkers and they were doing the same. And I feel like that's the sad truth about the world that we live in. Tragedy strikes, we acknowledge it, and then we get on with our lives like nothing happened. And the worst part of it to me is that some people are trying to figure out how they're supposed to continue their lives with shattered hearts, while other people are just on the other side of a fence at each other's throats over how this could have been prevented or how we could prevent it in the future. And this isn't about that. This is not about whether we need to ban guns or remove gun laws. This is not about religion or a lack of religion or what's the right religion. This isn't even about the mentally ill. I haven't seen anything about this being about mentally ill yet, but I'm sure that's coming somewhere down the line at some point. I want this to be about what we forget just hours after learning about something like this: the victims. Earlier today, I watched a video from the reporter Anderson Cooper reading a list of all of those identified as killed in the massacre thus far. He went through each name and said something unique about each and every single one of them, and it helped to remind us that everybody on that list is not just a number. They are people. They are sons, daughters, fathers, mothers, brothers, sisters, friends. Somebody's loved one died. All of them had jobs and dreams and love that in one night gone. All because of one guy. One guy who Cooper refused to mention, and I am doing the same in this video. I want to make this to remember the names on that list. Just like Anderson Cooper, I am going to go through that list of names and read each and every single one, because those are the people who deserve to be remembered. As I said earlier, I am a straight guy from Nebraska. I have very little in common with these individuals to my knowledge. I never got to know any of them. I don't know what we would have had in common other than just being on this stupid, crazy roller coaster that we call life. So, as I read the names, I'm going to try to personalize it the only way that I currently feel like I can. And for anybody watching who does know those individuals, who did know those individuals, please forgive me if I mispronounce any names. I hope that you understand that I don't mean any disrespect by it. So the first name on this list, Stanley Almodovar III. 2 years younger than myself. Amanda Alvear, same age as myself. Oscar A. Aracena Montero, 1 year older than myself. Rodolfo Ayala, 8 years older than myself. Antonio Devon Brown, 4 years older than myself. Daryl Roman Burt II, 4 years older than myself. Angel L. Candelario Pedro, 3 years older than myself. Juan Chavez Martinez, same age as me. Luis Daniel Conde, 14 years older than myself. Corey James Connell, 4 years younger than myself. Devin Eugene Crosby, same age as me. Leonka Deidre Drayton, 7 years older than myself. Simon Adrian Carrillo Fernandez, 6 years older than myself. Leroy Valentin Fernandez, my age. Mercedes Marisol Flores, 1 year older. Peter O. Gonzalez Cruz, 3 years younger than myself. Juan Ramon Hierro, 3 years younger than myself. Paul Terrell Henry, 16 years older than myself. Frank Hernandez, 2 years older than myself. Miguel Angel Honorato, 5 years older than myself. Javier Jorge Reyes, 15 years older than myself. Jason Benjamin Josephet, 6 years younger than myself. Eddie Jamalroy Justice, 5 years older than myself. Anthony Louis Larandoisa, my age. Christopher Andrew Leonin, 7 years older than myself. Alejandro Barrios Martinez, 4 years younger than myself. Brenda Lee Marquez McCool, old enough to be my mom. Gilberto Ramon Silva Menendez, my age. Kimberly Morris, 12 years older than myself. Akira Murray, 7 years younger than myself. Barely an adult. Luis Omar Ocasio Capo, 5 years younger than myself. Geraldo A. Ortiz Jimenez, my age. Eric Ivan Ortiz Rivera, 11 years older than myself. Joel Rayon Paniua, 7 years older than myself. Jean Carlos Mendez Perez, 10 years older than myself. Enrique L. Rios Jr., my age. Jean C. Nieves Rodriguez, 2 years older than myself. One sec. Xavier Emmanuel Serrano Rosado, 10 years older than myself. Christopher Joseph Sanfelice, 1 year younger than myself. Yelmary Rodriguez Sullivan, 1 year younger than myself. Edward Sotomayor Jr., 9 years older than myself. Shane Evan Tomlinson, 8 years older than myself. Martin Benitez Torres, 8 years older than myself. Jonathan Antonio Kamui Vega, 1 year younger than myself. Juan P. Rivera Velasquez, 12 years older than myself. This is a long list. Luis S. Velma, 3 years younger than myself. Frankie Jimmy de Jesus Velasquez, twice my age, twice the amount of life lived. Luis Daniel Wilson Leon, 12 years older than myself. Gerald Arthur White, 6 years older than myself. You know what the craziest thing of all this? These people that night went to one place. They felt that they could be safe and accepted and just could enjoy life for a night without any worries. It's times like this, and I know this is cliche, but it's times like this that we need to remember what's really important in our life and how fleeting this one life we have can be. At the same time, it's imperative that we stand tall, strong, and brave. I like to say that we also need to stand without fear, but that's a hard thing to do at times like this, which is why I specified brave instead of fearless. Everyone is afraid right now, whether or not they admit it. And unfortunately, some of us have chosen to express that fear in the form of anger. Please find a way to forgive your neighbors if you find this anger directed at you. We need to remember that we can't let this fear get to us. We can't let it divide us, and we can't let it silence us. That's my alarm for laundry. How freaking normal is it that people are dead and I had to do laundry? We can't let fear win. That's how we lose. I invite you, if there is anything in this that you felt is worthy of being shared, if there is anything that anybody can derive from this, please share it with them. Please share it with friends and family, anybody who just needs to hear some kind of message. I'm not saying this because I want to be famous. I think there are too many people out there, despicable people, who are trying to use this right now for their own personal game, and that's not what I want. That's not who I want to be. I'm just tired of seeing stuff like this with the amount of regularity that we do. I'm tired of every time this happens being silent. I'm tired of sitting at home and doing nothing. And right now, this is the only thing I can think of that doesn't feel like that. Just love each other. We're never going to agree on everything, but love each other. Find a way. And whatever you do, don't let times like this stop you from living the life that these 50 people no longer can.